Good evening, my fellow entities. Let me ask you this. Does this situation sound weird to you, or is it just to me? So, you guys know I'm a retail worker, correct? I haven't stated where I work, but I am a retail worker, and like usual, I joke around with a couple of my customers about sports, because some of them are Yankees fans, I'm a Red Sox fan, some are Eagles or Giants fans. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and so I go to joke around with this one guy. He's an African-American with a Yankees hat, and he's got his 2 kids with him. Now, for context, I didn't know that the youngest was an autistic kid, so we're joking around. I'm messing around with him because he's wearing a Yankees hat. So then his son thinks I'm a Yankees fan and tries to fist bump me, but I didn't notice he was going in for a fist bump, so they thought I ignored it. Then the father goes to say that he's teaching his son about money and how to handle money because he needs to learn this, and because the kid handed me a chunk of cash without even counting it, I told his father, well, he's definitely doing a good job, but I can also see why you need to teach him about money. Now, context, Nike and Adidas, I always thought they were rivals. So when I saw the one kid wearing an Adidas shirt, I said that, doesn't he know he needs to go for a Nike shirt because Nikes are better? Now, this was all joking around, but the guy gets quiet, leaves, and then calls the store. Now, because I've got one of the phones up front, I answered the phone. I heard the guy's voice. He's trying to describe me. Calls me a male for some reason. Decides to get into this whole story that doesn't even make sense, because first he tells me that I shouldn't have joked around with him over sports like that. That's not professional, so that's not allowed. He then complains that I didn't give his son a fist bump when he went to go do it, which, again, I didn't notice, and I didn't know he's special needs. I'm autistic, as I've stated before in some of my videos, so I guess the father figured I should know what special needs looks like, because he said that I should be able to understand the situation if I'm special needs after I explained to him that I had autism. So he also claims that when I was joking around about the Adidas shirt, he thought I said that it seems like they don't come from money, which all I said was, it's a good thing you're teaching him about money, because he needs to know Nike is better than Adidas. So he completely took the entire conversation out of context. He heard stuff that didn't even make sense and didn't even come out of my mouth. And to build it all up, he claimed that I might be racist because I didn't give his son a fist bump, and because of the whole, well, looks like you guys don't come from money, which, again, never came out of my mouth. And I mean, the guy was gonna call corporate over all of this just because I was joking around with them, and he completely took all of it out of context, even hearing things that didn't even happen. Like, is everybody just looking to start a fight for no reason these days? I mean, his race didn't even occur to me. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your political party is. I don't care who you are. If we can joke around about sports or anything, then that's all I care about. I care about a person's personality, not the color of their skin, not what they believe in, just that we can communicate and that we can be friends. And for some reason, that's been a big thing throughout the years. Like, I go to joke around, they hear something out of an ordinary, which doesn't make sense, and just, what is wrong with people? Like, what happened to the days where you could have a conversation, you could joke around, you can pal around, without instantly being called racist, or a bigot, or a jerk, or being told that that's not good customer service, and you shouldn't be joking around, and you need to learn how to be a better worker by not having fun at work, or not joking around with your customers who you think can take a joke, or aren't gonna go off the deep end. Like, can someone explain this to me? Anyone else in retail able to explain this to me? Because of this guy, and because one of the managers overheard the conversation, I'm no longer allowed to talk to my clients about sports, or joke around with them about sports. Because one guy had to go and ruin everything for no reason other than he misheard everything and was going to put in a complaint to corporate. Now, the end of the story is I was able to talk him out of calling corporate, but still, just, the guy completely lost context of the entire conversation and just went on to his own story where none of it happened. Like, I don't get people these days. Again, in the comment section, tell me what you think of the story, because even the customer after him thought that this was nuts and the guy had no right to do what he did or do what he said, or had no right to say what he said. And keep in mind, the other customer was also an African American who even said if it came down to it, she'd go up against me too, joking around, because she's an Eagles fan and she'd be willing to joke with me. Like, is it just certain people, or is everyone like this? I don't get it. I don't get this world anymore. Have a great night, guys. Or good morning.